today. We are going to talk about lots of things, I think, just different. We kind of had one direction we were going to go, and we had to change gears a little bit, but we're going to make it happen anyway. So I met Bethany at church, and the one memory I have of her from there is it was raining outside, and I was running to my car, and I heard these little footsteps behind me. Like, and she was like, "I want to be your friend." Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And
we were already friends online somehow, and I was like, we need to be more than online friends.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to be your friend in real life.
Yes.
That's what I said.
Because I think when you connect with somebody or whatever. And I just feel like super blessed to know you.
Oh, okay.
And I think that we do have a good connection. And so have known each other for a while now. So she trained with me for a little bit. She's done some of the 21-day challenges. We've kind of had just kind of come back and then kind of rounds of training, I guess. So I feel like she's on her own journey at this point. And I think today what we want to talk about excuse me, is like when I first met you, I felt like you were super quiet, which I am too.
Yeah.
But I could tell that there was like a lot in there that hadn't made its way out yet.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I met you in a season. I had 3 kids in 4 years, and the youngest was about 6 months when I met you. So I was going through this period of like, I almost felt like I sort of lost myself a little bit, and I almost, I've been pregnant or nursing or pregnant or nursing or pregnant or nursing for a long time.
Yes.
And it was my season to get back to me.
Yes.
And you were part of that.
Yeah, and I'm so super glad about that too. So as a trainer and having worked with a lot of women over time, I've been able to watch people sort of come into themselves, and I really feel like fitness and getting stronger and exercising and all that, it sounds kind of superficial when you first say it, but it really does build a foundation for you being you, and giving you like confidence, and like physical strength gives you confidence anyway, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So like when you first made the decision to start exercising, like what was going through your brain?
Oh, okay. I just knew that I was struggling with the everyday things. Like I sort of just felt at that time like I was always needed. Somebody always needed me. I was drowning at home, and I was a stay-at-home mom with these 3 little boys, and I just felt completely overwhelmed by that. It was just a very overwhelming time, and it's that way for anybody with little kids. Yeah. But I needed to get some energy. I needed to feel confident about myself. I just needed to do something that was just for me. Not, children are amazing, and I love being a servant to my children, but you have to do something for yourself. You have to take that time and do something for yourself. Yeah. And so that was really how our journey started. That and the motivation of my little sister's wedding.
Yes. We kind of talked about for a second about aesthetics sort of driving us to first seek out. So it's like losing weight. You had several kids. Like I'm sure you felt like your body was, who am I? What is this going on? And so you initially, I think there is a lot of that. We want to look better and that kind of stuff.
And that was what I thought it was all about. Yeah. And then I discovered that's not all it's all about. It gave me so much energy. I remember I would put my kids down for their naps every day at 2 o'clock, and I would get in my living room with my little mat, and I would do my workout from the 21-day challenges. I would save all of them and write them in a little book, and I would do those workouts then, and that was how my journey started. My journey started in my living room via Hope. And when they were a little older, it started coming in here, training some. And then I finally got the nerve to go on to a gym too, and started running races, and it just sort of ripple affected, like it just grew from, I want to lose some baby weight, to like, wow, this feels good.
Yeah, like a general love for, or a genuine love for fitness and that kind of stuff. And Bethany has, and her husband, and the kids too, sort of have done the CrossFit thing and belong to a gym here in town. And it's been really cool to watch them as a couple do that. And then also watch Bethany get this like competitive, like sort of spirit about her.
Just a little, not always.
I mean,
hardcore,
I don't think you're like,
No.
want to, but I think that it has driven that a little bit. And that comes from like just the confidence building and stuff like that. And just seeing her get like super strong, and it's just so, it makes me so happy. Like it just does. It makes me feel like I kind of helped birth that a little bit. But then to see people go on and continue, it makes me feel so good. Bethany also. So what did you go to school for just recently?
Okay, I got interested in ultrasound back when I was pregnant with my last child, and wound up when they were a little bit older, I went to school for ultrasound. Up at Ball State. I did a 1.5-year long program up there, which was a very, very, very hard season, because it was a 40-hour-a-week program, an hour away with 3 kids and a husband. So it was a very hard season.
We had the conversations about you had to make the decision to kind of put the fitness thing on the back burner for a little bit. I know that you were kind of still running a little bit when
I would get up and do my runs at like 4:45 in the morning sometimes. But
it wasn't
that was
priority.
Like consistent, because sometimes studying for my test was the priority that day.
So like having periods of your life where you do have to kind of put it on the back burner is normal. I mean, she had a lot on her plate, but it was always there in the back of her brain. And I remember when she came back and she was like, okay, I'm ready to do this again. And because like, why did you want to get back to it?
Because I remember how I feel when I'm lifting weight, when I'm doing these things. I remember how good I feel, the confidence that I have, and I felt, I don't know how to even describe it. I just knew I needed to reconnect with that part of myself. I knew she was still there. I knew that I could still do it, but like I had just maybe lost a little bit of skill for a brief period of time.
Or maybe just like a little bit of confidence about it.
I was in my head for sure. I know that.
So she came back here for a little bit, and we kind of just went through form things and got her back to feeling more like, okay, I can go back and not feel like I'm going to be the weakest person in the room.
Well, and sometimes I am, but that's
okay.
Yeah.
It's always, it really is your own journey. Like sometimes you get in competitive situations, but it's always you against you at the end of the day. But I've watched Bethany also. So it's not made me cry a little bit.
Because I'll cry.
But just sort of blossom into this like leader, basically. And I feel like I've had several women that I've watched do this, but I feel like when you do get strong physically, it sparks creativity in your brain. It gives you confidence in all areas of your life. So it's not just the physical part of it. It's you have the confidence to step out of your comfort zone on a lot of different levels. I mean, have you felt like that at all?
I mean, I've definitely found myself in some roles that 5 years ago Bethany would be like, no.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Yes.
And now I know I can do hard things. I can do things that make me uncomfortable. I can do things that make my hands shake. And a couple of those things have involved, just like leading worship at church, which was very nerve-wracking at first, or I've actually accepted an adjunct teaching position, so I teach 1 day a week in addition to doing ultrasound part-time. So even doing that was like, I can't teach. Like, I'm a baby sonographer. How could I teach? But guess what? I can teach. Yeah, I can do it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
just
think
stepping out.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's hard to see in yourself what's kind of happening, but people on the outside can tell. And I think I just recently like texted her to make sure that she knew that I could see how big she was getting, and because sometimes we don't see it, and it takes other people telling us that and it kind of creeps up on you. You're like, oh, maybe I have grown, and I can do more and more and more of these things that never really entered my brain before.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a refining process too. I mean, as you get stronger, sometimes you have to cut some dead weight or say no to some things that were holding you back. And it's part of the growth process.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've definitely faced some of that recently, and I'm feeling stronger and more confident and just in a better headspace than I've been in a really long time. So, yeah.
So what about like relationship wise? So like husband and that kind of thing.
Yes.
Have things changed or?
Well, what's so cool about like okay, this is sort of the evolution of Bethany, and just a brief little thing. I was never into fitness or really all that active as a child or in college. Like, I did not have a love for that feeling where you're that stitch in your side. I was like, why do people do this? It's so ridiculous. And I married a man who has to exercise every day, who has to get a good sweat on every day, or you don't want to be around him. And it was so weird to me for like the first 7, 8 years, like, you go do your thing, I'm gonna stay here.
Yeah.
But I knew that was part of his process. I knew that's how he works, that's how he operates. And he's a fireman, so he should do that, so he can stay strong.
Yes.
But now that I have a love of fitness as well as him, it's really just blessed our family. Like, we can do things together. We can drag the kids out and go do those things together. And it's not just he goes and does his thing and I do my thing. It's really brought us together, and I know he definitely has responded to the confidence that I have had, and he eats it up.
Yeah. So. And it makes just like daily life better too, like meal planning and not being perfect, but if people are kind of together with, hey, we want to do better, it makes it easier. Yes. Yeah. And having both of you guys doing those things is a super blessing for your kids too to watch, because that's not all kids have that.
I think about that, what they're growing up in, that is their normal.
Yes.
I think that I can't wait to see what they're able to do.
Yeah.
So.
And like in my experience with my girls, they I tried to not ever like push the exercise thing on them. But it's naturally been a part of their life. They both have gone and they seek out things that they like to do. Right. Like Courtney likes to do yoga.
Right.
And, rock climbing and stuff like that. Monique likes to box and so like they have their own things and they have their own journeys with it too. But it was planted in them. Right. And that makes me super happy, to know that it's in them, and then it'll just keep going down the line, right?
Yes, that's the goal.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so through this process of you doing your fitness thing, I also watch you do. Oh, so you do this running thing, and so I used to be a runner too, a little bit. So Bethany races a lot, and she does trips and stuff with her girlfriends and stuff like that. And what I think is super important about that and neat is when people get together and do these things, it's super motivating. So when you do first start out, really do try to seek out friends and people, you know, it might not be your friends that you currently have, because they might be in the no fitness zone.
Right.
You know,
Right.
but I know, like, just from the challenges and that kind of stuff, I know you've made friends, other GGs, and
Yes.
and just having like those connections and support systems.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
so important. It's a layer of accountability, and like there's no question, like, are we doing the Seaside half next year? Yeah, we're doing the Seaside half next year. So like,
Yeah.
it's so great to have a tribe that you would have something in common, like fitness, that
Yeah.
you enjoy doing together.
Yeah, and like everybody wants to do it, and they're excited, and it's everybody enjoys it.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Yes.
it might suck, the actual thing.
Yes.
But having that, you know, as a bond, again, it just it makes the whole experience healthy too.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure that you guys, you know, have some wine or whatever you're gonna do at your Seaside thing after the race, right?
Yes.
But,
Ideally.
yeah, but I think just the underlying theme is, you know, a healthy place, you know.
Well, finding some people that pull you along and like, hey, let's go train today. Hey, let's do this today. That's so good too. But those trips, our husbands make fun of us because we don't really pick races that are like in our back door.
There is purpose behind those.
We pick races that get us away for a weekend trip together, and it's not just about the race, and it's not just about the fitness. It's about that time together,
Yes.
and pouring into each other, and just taking a little break
Yeah.
from all the responsibilities. And you know, it's not a bad thing. It's such a great thing, because you come back. Not only have you accomplished this huge goal of running a half marathon or whatever, but you come back just emotionally recharged too,
Yeah.
from spending time with these people. So
You get filled back up.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
I
and
think,
it bleeds over into everything.
yeah.
So
I think as moms, you know, that is one thing that needs to be like a conversation that started, because I think a lot of moms feel guilty.
Yes.
So let's talk about that for just like 1 second.
Okay.
So like
Okay.
the guilt factor.
yeah, okay. You have been instrumental in that process for me, because I do not have guilt about taking time to go do a hour-and-a-half long run on a Saturday. I do not take guilt in going on a trip for, you know, a long weekend even, to go do a race with some friends, because we as mothers, we have to. You hear that trite expression about like putting on your oxygen mask before you put on your child's oxygen. It's the same
It's
thing.
truth, yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yes.
Like, we have to take care of ourselves, and that's not just, you know, it's not just meeting everybody's physical needs or meeting your own physical needs. It can be emotional needs too, and we have to take care of ourselves.
We do.
And I've learned that, and I'm so thankful to shout out to Ryan Kellum, because he is supportive of that in me. He knows that I need my time, and he makes sure I get it, because we always say we would rather have quality time with our children than quantity time.
Yes.
And if I'm not my best self, what does it matter if I didn't leave their side?
Yeah. If you're in a bad mood or have no
Yeah.
energy or
Have no energy,
fatigued,
yes.
yeah.
Which
Yeah.
was how I was operating the first few months of having all three of those children. I was just in survival, you know.
Yes.
And now, you know, they get I feel like they have a better mom.
Yeah, I think they do. I think that, like, I can tell that you are just more centered. You know what I mean? Like, but you have to work on getting that done. If people are constantly taking from you, you don't have anything left to give. And then everybody's like, well, she's, you know.
It's not selfish.
She's
to
a
take
big
care of
nag.
yourself.
Yeah, well, I don't have anything
Yeah.
else in there. Yeah, yeah.
You have to take care of yourself.
Yeah, and it is it can be a challenge to figure out time, especially people that, you know, have full-time jobs and kids, and the kids have things they have to do and sports and all that kind of stuff. And so the conversation surrounding that about you know, giving yourself a little bit of grace, as far as like 20 minutes is better than none. It doesn't have to be an hour and a half in the gym. It can be, you know, it can be whatever it needs to be, but it does need to be.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's a lot of days. I've now had to sort of like get used to this life. I was home with my kids for 8 years, And now I'm working like 20 hours a week. Well, I guess more than that with this teaching job too. So now I can't make it to the gym to my favorite class every day. I can't do it, but I can't just not do something.
Right.
And even if it's just as simple as putting on my shoes and going for a 20-minute run around the neighborhood or whatever, just doing something, it helps me.
Yeah.
Helps me recenter and stay.
Yeah. And I think there's always going to be times in your life when things will have to change.
Yes.
But you're always going to come back to it.
Yes.
You're always going to have that, in the back of your head, like, well, when this happens, I will be back there, or I will do that again, or that really,
right,
kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. That whole guilt thing just eats women up.
Yes, yes, and I mean, and I've done it too, especially when I was in ultrasound school and had like no time. I didn't want to take time away from the kids. It was a very hard season.
Yeah.
But finding time for yourself, you gotta do it. And I really try to not let that guilt in.
Yeah.
You can't do it.
You can't. You
You
can't.
have to
And
take care
other
of you.
people will make you feel guilty sometimes.
That's true.
Too.
Well, I saw somebody post something about the person that you were before you had children. She matters too. And that hit me.
That's
like
big.
That hit me like I took a screenshot of it because I was like, I want to remember this. She matters too. You have to take care of her too. You can't just serve your family or your job or whatever the community, even whatever it is. You have to take care of yourself before you can really take care of others. And that's just been imperative for me in my journey with my children.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful for influences that have kept me focused that it's not a selfish act. It's actually a selfless act because they get a better mom.
They get a better mom, for sure. Yeah, I totally agree with that. We want to. I think we're kind of pressured into being kind of perfect on all levels, and that's impossible, like for anybody to do. And it's just especially if you're to stay at home which you're not anymore, but you work for a little while, half and half.
Half and half now.
It's easy for people to be like, well, you don't work, so like, what else do you need?
Right.
Well, having 3 boys is a lot of work, right? Yes. And mentally, and physically, for sure. But at the end of the day, I mean, we have to support each other. I mean, I think that's another thing too, is other women supporting other women.
Yes.
So sometimes I feel like that's probably a bigger truth than anything, because we tend to want to be in competition with each other, sometimes.
Which is never healthy.
It's not. It's not. And also I think that we look at other women that might be doing that, and it makes us feel guilty about not doing it, and so then we get defensive or whatever, or we want to talk about people and stuff like that. But I just want to encourage women out there that are kind of feeling like they're in that stuck place, or just in a time, a time period of their life where they feel like they don't have any option, other than to do everything for everybody, and that they come last. To try to rethink that a little bit, because it's not doing anybody any good.
Right.
Yeah. And I feel like we have a lot of gifts. I mean, I just see like your gifts just like blossoming out, and it's just really cool, because and I'm not saying like fitness started everything, but it does have a definite effect, because it's like making the decision to do something for yourself like that leads to like the snowball of like, oh, like I'm worthy, I am worth doing this for, and you like it shows on your face.
Hope, stop it.
But anyway, I love you too. I love you too. We kind of got like sidetracked on this with this video. We were supposed to do something else today, and but I'm just super glad that we had a little bit of time
Yes.
together, because I really do think about her a lot, and I see, I love to see people just like in this like growth period of their life, and just like, you are a strong woman, sister. You are a leader. She's a leader.
Thank you.
But I just want to thank you for taking the time out from your boys and all that stuff, all of your boys.
Yes. Well,
And thank you, Ryan, for letting her come here today. But just appreciate you, and I love
appreciate
you. And so
I appreciate all you've done on my journey, and how I always know you've got my back.
I do have your back.
Always.
Yes, yes. So like Gigi's for life.
Gigi for life.
Friends
Always.
for life.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you guys for watching today. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
Yeah. We didn't wear the Sister Squad shirts today, so we would have some green on. But thanks for watching, and